Have you ever wondered why that amazing burger you had in some little bistro in Maine tasted exactly like the one from that trendy spot you went to in California? Well, that's not a coincidence. It's actually a carefully constructed system, an invisible monopoly that's turning our diverse culinary landscape into one giant, predictable menu. So let's pull back the curtain.
You know that feeling, right? That little bit of culinary déjà vu. I'm telling you, you are not imagining it. That uncanny similarity you're noticing, it's the final product of a vast, invisible machine that has silently taken over America's kitchens, one identical burger at a time.
We're all drawn to places that look like this. We hope for something authentic, a taste of local flavor that's been crafted by a passionate chef. We see a unique sign, a different menu, and we think, yes, we're getting a unique experience. But what's really going on behind that charming facade? A powerful, standardized system is pulling all the strings.
So, who exactly are these puppet masters? Well, the answer isn't in the kitchen. It's in the delivery trucks that pull up out back. That romantic image we all have of a chef hand-picking ingredients at a local market, for the most part, it's a myth. The reality is a system completely dominated by a handful of massive companies. They're called broadline distributors.
Think of it like an Amazon Prime for restaurants, but with a huge, crucial difference. These broadline distributors have a massive catalog of literally everything a restaurant could ever need, and it all gets delivered on one truck. I mean, for a stressed-out restaurant owner, that is intoxicatingly convenient. But that convenience, it comes at a really steep price: the loss of choice. And this whole market is controlled by just a tiny handful of corporate giants.
To really get your head around the sheer scale of this operation, just look at the industry leader Sysco. They are on track to make over $84 billion this year alone. That is more than the entire economic output of some countries, and they're not alone. They're just one head of a three-headed giant that has a complete stranglehold on the industry.
So you've got Sysco, along with Performance Food Group, and US Foods. Together, they form this incredibly powerful trio that controls the food supply for the vast majority of American restaurants. They're the gatekeepers. For so many independent restaurant owners, especially if they're in more remote areas, these companies aren't just an option. They're the only option. They don't just participate in the market, they are the market.
And look, this isn't just some theory. This is documented fact, straight from the Federal Trade Commission. Back in 2015, Sysco actually tried to merge with US Foods, and the government had to step in and stop them. Why? The FTC's own data showed that this merger would have given the new single company control of a staggering 75% of the entire national market. The deal was stopped, thankfully, but that underlying problem of market dominance, it's still here.
So how do these giants keep such a tight grip on the market? It's not just about having the most trucks. It's about a really complex web of contracts and financial incentives that act like golden handcuffs, locking restaurants into a system that is almost impossible to escape from. Okay, here's the dirty little secret. For a lot of chefs, the most important ingredient in a dish isn't the flavor. It's the rebate. The entire system is designed to reward them for choosing prepackaged, industrial products that come with a cashback bonus, instead of creating something unique from scratch.
And this is all made possible by something called a group purchasing organization, or a GPO. The easiest way to think of it is as a buying club for restaurants. By banding together, all these independent restaurants can get the same kinds of discounts and cashback rebates as the big chains. I mean, it sounds like a great deal, right? But here's the catch. That access comes with some very serious strings attached.
To unlock those juicy rebates, chefs are basically funneled into buying very specific, pre-approved products. Their contracts often have these exclusivity clauses, forcing them to source almost everything from a single distributor. And what if they dare to go outside that system to support a local farm or an artisan baker? Well, they get slapped with penalties. It's a system that actively punishes creativity.
This quote just lays it all out there. 80 to 90%, just let that sink in for a moment. Up to 90 cents of every single dollar a restaurant spends is dictated by a single corporate catalog. This isn't a partnership, it's a chokehold on creativity. It makes it nearly impossible for a chef to source anything unique or local.
So what's the end result of all this financial maneuvering? It's a fundamental change in what a professional kitchen even is. It's this transformation from a place of culinary art to a place of industrial assembly. And yeah, it's a secret the industry would much rather you didn't know about.
The industry actually has a cutesy name for this: speed scratch.
It's the practice of using pre-made, convenience products to speed up the cooking process. Now, it's pitched as a solution to labor shortages, but what it really is a system that completely de-skills the kitchen. The chef becomes less of a creator and more of an assembler, just reheating and arranging food that comes from bags and boxes.
I mean, just look at this breakdown. It takes 90 minutes to properly dice a 50-pound sack of onions. Or you can just buy a bag of them pre-diced. Instead of peeling, boiling, and mashing potatoes, you can buy Sysco's boil-in-a-bag version. Instead of slow simmering a sauce for hours and hours, you just use a flavor concentrate from a jug. Every single one of these substitutions chips away at that restaurant's unique identity.
So the next time you're served a beautifully plated dish, I want you to take a closer look. That perfectly cooked chicken, it might have come out of a plastic bag. That rich, savory sauce, it could be from a jug. And those creamy mashed potatoes, they might have started their life as a powder in a box. The chef's role, in many cases, has been reduced to being a food stylist. And this isn't just happening at fast food joints, it's happening in restaurants at every single price point.
So let's connect all the dots, right? The distributors control the ingredients, the contracts control the restaurants, and the prepackaged food standardizes the menus. It all adds up to one grand illusion, the feeling of choice, without any of the reality.
And this is what we are all losing. That vibrant tapestry of regional American food is just being bleached into a bland, uniform canvas. We are literally trading our culinary heritage for corporate efficiency. Our entire food supply is becoming dangerously centralized. And our menus? They're being designed by algorithms, not artists. This is the slow, quiet death of culinary diversity.
It really leaves you with one final question to think about the next time you eat out. If that charming, quote-unquote, independent restaurant down the street is buying 90% of its food from the exact same catalog as the national chain in the next town over, is it really independent, or is it just a franchise with a different logo on the door?
Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and visit foodindustry.com for more information.